All right, guys, so good afternoon. Today we are going to work on a couple flat tires I have. So I've got one on the Wicked step through, which has randomly showed up, and then I've got two on the Flyer e-bike. So here's the deal. I only have enough in this thing apparently to do 1.5 tires, so I'm going to do half of it in the Wicked bike, because that's got a much wider tire on it, and then I'll split the other two parts up to the Flyer e-bike and see if that's enough to do it. So it does flat out work. Let's find out. Alright guys, so as you can see, let's make sure we got all the cameras set up. We're going to work on this tire here. You can see that is definitely flat. There's no doubt about that. So with flat out here, the first step we have to do, it says, is to take out this thing. Now keep in mind, I've never done this before. I've never taken out a valve stem, but this is the little tool that they give you. Hopefully you can see that. One looks really big and the other looks really small, so I'm going to guess, I don't want to mess up these camera angles here, that it's probably just sort of sits up. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It feels like, yeah, here it comes. Okay, good. You can see this tire is just completely dead. Let's see. Yeah, there's nowhere left in that. So where can we put this where we won't lose it and won't blow away? How about like right here? Okay, we'll put everything right there. You can see that tire is completely dead. Now, with the flat out, it says we basically need to use about half of this. So let me get my other glasses on. We use about half of this to repair this size tire. And I'm looking at this more as a repair initially, and then an eventual, obviously for preventative. So that's what it looks like. You can see that. So it says initially we've got to, man, I hope this angle is getting right on this thing. Basically we're going to take this, no, wrong, unscrew the top part, which is, I've heard other people complain about this design and it really does suck, but it is what it is. Okay, so it just pulls, out. Okay, see that? How it's just pulling out like that? Okay. This tool, this part here on top, is like a cheap valve stem remover part, so we don't need that. And then what we've got to do is we've got to get this in on here, which is going to be a little tricky. Okay. Because that, and it's slippery too. Okay. All right, there we go. All right. So we got it on there. So the goal now is to check. All right, the bag says, well, we're going to squeeze this stuff in here until we get half this bag in there. Notice that the valve stem is at the top, and I've heard some pretty miracle stories about this stuff, so let's see. I'll turn it on. Man, I hope this is right, because otherwise, like wasting my time here recording this. So you can see it's going in, right? And we're going to use about half of this bag, so let's see where we're at now. We are, no, we're not even near half yet. Okay, so let's just keep going. Squeeze it slowly. See, I'm trying to save some for the Flyer e-bike so I don't have to buy a whole nother bag of it. And this will hopefully prevent it. I don't know what, I mean, we went through some woods and there was a part where we're kind of sort of going through sticker bushes. Oh, yeah, see, we're almost at half. Let's see where we're at. Half is there. We're just, let's do a little bit more. and I think we'll be fine. So we went through some sticker bushes and, well, on the trail, and I think those thorns are ultimately what led to the demise of these tires. All right, let's see where we're at. Yeah, I'm good with that. Probably a little less than half, but well, let's see. Maybe we should do a little bit more just to be safe. But I can feel as the stuff is kind of on my finger, so that it's definitely sticky. All right, let's go with that, and then that's it. That's all you're getting. Okay. Okay, so that's in there. We'll let the rest of that drip back into down the tube. We'll put this cap back on. All right, that just kind of sits in there, so don't try to unscrew it like I did because it's not going to work. We actually can just leave this over here since we're going to do both of them today anyway. So then part 2 would be to put this Schrader valve, I believe it's called. Use the small end and see if we can, okay, cool. All right, this goes back in here. Man, I really don't want to drop this thing. There we go. Just keep twisting it. And then what I'm going to do is give the tire a little bit of a spin. Yeah, cool, there's resistance. Man, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be. That's cool, that's a relief. All right, so we're going to lift this up. We're just kind of give this tire. Yeah, I think the frustrating part is I can't even see like a nail or anything. You'd go like, oh yeah, shit, that's why it's flat, dude. But there's nothing there, so all right. So we're going to bring that valve stem back up around the top. Okay, that's where it is. We've spun the tire a couple times, so now we have to do the noisy part, and that is we've got to deal with this air compressor. It's going to get loud here in a second, so I'll just pause the video until that tank fills up with enough air, and then we'll come back and we'll put some air in and see what happens. All right, here we go. It's going to get loud. Okay, so I don't think this air compressor, because it's got a little bit of a leak in it, is going to stop running. So I replace this hose, we have to deal with what we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting some air in here, and let's see how it does. Well, so far so good. It's taking the air. I'm going to go, this can go up to 20 psi, this tire. I'm going to take it up to about 10 to match the back tire, so let's see what we get here. Oh man, it's not even enough to move it. Alright, we'll keep going. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but you can always put audio in here or some music. Sorry, my hands are shaky when I apply pressure on something like that. Okay, we're almost there. 10. I don't know, when I push it in, stuff makes my hands shake. Okay, so that's 10. That's it. So now, turn this off. My lord, that's annoying. All right. So, cap back on. Let's put the cap back on because I always lose that stuff. And then we're going to take this thing for a quick ride. And let's see if it holds air. I guess we truly won't know until tomorrow, right? If it holds air overnight. But let's go take it for a ride. See what happens. All right. This is my beautiful Wicked. Look, it's classic because now they're called wired. So now that it says Wicked on there, I got a classic. All right, let's go for a ride. I hope this stuff works. We really don't want to have to deal with pulling tires off and bringing it to a bicycle repair shop. All right, let's see what we end up with. See if it will hold. Now the front tire was good on the ride. These flats happen, I think, probably at the same place, but for some reason the Wicked held its air a lot longer. It's a lot fatter of a tire, so maybe that's why. Fatter of a tire rather than the Flyer bike. So that may be why it held its air longer. But I just want to give this thing a good ride around the block. I'll pedal a little bit. And let's see, you know, I'll have to check it in the morning, but I mean, we're doing everything right here. We can get out here. Follow directions exactly. We put exactly how much in this tire. It said it needed 16 ounces for this size tire, which is what I put in because that pouch was 32 ounces total. So I put in half the bag, which would be 16. So that leaves me with 8 ounces for each of the other tires on the Flyer bike, which I believe it called for 10 ounces on each of those. So we'll be 2 ounces short on each one, but I don't know that it's going to matter. But I'll tell you this, I might buy another bag of that stuff to put in the back tire of this bike because it prevents flats as well. And it's kind of nice to take these off road a little bit, so to speak, or, you know, like on the trails. And they're not rough trails or anything here. It's more like the preserve. And so sometimes it's kind of fun to just get off the road a little bit and go in the back and see the turtles and the wildlife and whatever else happens to be back there. So if I can do that with confidence, knowing I'm not going to get a flat tire, then yeah, I'm all in. It is well worth the $17, I think it was. I ordered it on Amazon, but I think they sell it on Home Depot as well. I'll put some links in the description. And oh, before I forget, if you guys wouldn't mind taking a minute, just kind of like and subscribe. I'm trying to build the channel, and I know that helps, as they say, the YouTube algorithm to say, hey, this is a cool video, people are liking it. But I hope also you're learning from it too. You know, because sometimes you can do stuff, you're like, oh man, I don't know, like, I never took a Schrader valve out before, and I was worried about it, and I did it. It took all 10 seconds, and I feel accomplished with that. And so, if it helps somebody to learn something, and when you're thinking about putting this product in versus, I think there's another one called Green Slime or something like that. But this is the one that I saw got the highest reviews. This is the one that the military uses on their vehicles because of the Kevlar and everything. So if it works for them, it works for me. Right now the tire's looking good. It's feeling good. It's so nice to be able to ride and not have to worry about a flat. So let's give it some speed here and make sure the centrifugal force is working at all of its power. There we go. Whoa. Holy smokes. I've noticed that I lost a little weight here and there, like 10 pounds or whatever. The more weight I lose, the faster this bike tends to go. So I see some dudes that are saying they're getting up to almost 40, but they weigh 150 pounds. I'm usually about, if I give it enough room, usually about 33 miles an hour is my tops on this. I think we're good. I think we've given it a fair amount of time to distribute throughout the tube. Let's get it back to the house. And then all we can do is check it tomorrow, right? See if it held pressure. So we'll check it real quick when we get back. But then I'll actually check the pressure tonight, because I know it's going to be a little higher now since the tire's warmed up. But if it sits, you know, if it sits for a couple hours and cools back down, then the pressure should be constant, because the tire temperatures will be the same. All right, that's it. So everything looks good. Just give it a quick try. I'll turn this off because I always forget to do that. And let's just check that gauge real quick. Man, I don't know if you guys can be able to see this or not, but let's give it a try. We stopped at 10, right? So right now, nope, do that. It's a 10. It's perfectly a 10. Okay. So far so good. It looks like it worked. And the next step is I'm going to pull that flyer out of the garage and do the same thing with it. I don't think I need to video all that stuff, but anyway, we'll check on it real quick in the morning, see if the temperature or the pressure is the same, and then we know it works. All right. So this is Kevin from What's Kevin Doing. Thanks for watching, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care. Okay guys, so it has been 24 hours since we put the Flatout in, and I'm just getting home and I'm excited to see what these tires look like and to see if it held the air. You can see what happens when you try to put a family of 4 into it. Oh, a 1-car garage. Ooh, feels pretty good. Let's see this one. It's still holding air. I don't see it flat on the front of that. So what I'm going to do is, here, let's back this thing out. So on this tire we did 25 pounds of air. So let's see where it is right now. Let's see if it, right, was it 20? No, let me think about that. It was 10 on this one. Okay. So let's see if I... Ooh, look at that. Can you see that? It held it. Perfect. 10 psi, 10 pounds. All right, so Flatout does in fact work. Let's try it on the other bike. So this was 10. The other ones were 20. And that's my... Okay. So on this one, it was, we did 20 psi. Let's see how I can get this in an angle to where you can actually see it. So that's going to go that way. Cool. Now this one looks low. This one looks low, but maybe, let's see. Didn't even register. Okay. And we'll try the back, see what that looks like. So this one is a little bit low. And the interesting is that you can see. See on the valve stem? Can you see that stuff kind of coming out of it? That has anything to do with it. Let's give it a try. Okay, so I'm going to share something interesting with you. The Wicked bike, that was the one where we added half the bag, which was 16 ounces, which is exactly what was prescribed by the manufacturer, the amount they said we would need. And it held every pound of air in it. So, let me see if that is. I can't see any place where like it's coming out, so no substitute. Now, on the other side, the flyer bike, on my daughter's, to get over here so we get a better view of it. That was the one where I was a few ounces short on each one, on each wheel. And it did lose a few pounds of air overnight. So now I've just taken them both back up to 20 psi. So fill them back up. Let's see if they lose any air again overnight tonight. If they do, I think it's an easy fix, because I think all that it is it will be adding more of the Flatout, because I need to get some, because I'm going to put some now on the back of my Wicked. You can see, I mean, just, I don't know if you can see this way, but how much larger the tires are on the Wicked than they are on the flyer bike. So of course they're going to need more, but that's what we'll do. Check it tomorrow if they're low. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to buy another bag of it anyway, because I want to fill up the back of that Wicked tire. And then we'll just use the rest to fill up the flyer, and that should take care of it. So let's see. We'll check again in the morning, but I think we'll be fine. We'll try it one more time, and then I'll finish the video then. See you soon. All right, guys. So we are back for the final measurement on. Here, I'll show you. Hope it doesn't come out upside down. But we're going to do the final pressure check to see how these tires have held up that we treated with the Flatout. So I know this is going to be blurry. I'm just going to do my best here to get it in. So this one was at where was this one? This one was 10, right? So 10 psi. Oops, no, not gonna do that. So you can see, can you see that? We're at 10. We're at 10, so this one's holding. So the Flatout definitely worked on this one. Now we're gonna go over here, and this on this bike, this is the Flyer. So this one, dang, how does this go upside down? I can hear a button. This one we did 20 in each tire. Remember, this one we're a little short on product, so wasn't able to fill it all the way up to what the manufacturer called for. But let's see what we got. Hold this straight. Yeah, man, it's a 20. Can you see that? I know it's a little hard and it's kind of at a weird angle. That's a 20 psi. It's amazing. It works. It actually works. It's, sorry to sound surprised, but you know, so many things make crazy claims these days and don't actually ever work. Let's give this one his back tire, because on this one we had lost, yeah, we lost both tires. They both went flat on us. So let's give this a try. And again, it is difficult to be cameraman and talker and worker guy. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's holding a 20. So, bottom line, answering the question, does Flatout work? The answer is yes. It works. Both of these bikes have held their pressure for, I think it's 3 days now. Yeah, for about 3 days. And so I have no concerns going forward. So all I gotta do now is just get another bag of it, I guess now, because it comes in a bag rather than a bottle. Put it in the back tire of that Wicked, and if I don't have to worry about tires going flat anymore, I'm all good. I'm going back on the trails again. Alright, listen, have a great day. We'll talk to you soon, and thanks for watching. Remember, just take a quick minute if you don't mind, and hit that like and subscribe button for me. Thanks. Talk to you again soon. Bye.